we were able to change the way she was presenting her coaching. We spoke to her ideal client, and I like to say, her ideal client raised their hand and said, oh my gosh, she is talking to me and she gets me. And they communicated that back. And that was only from one post on LinkedIn, you guys. So I want to make sure that you really get that clear. Make sure that other people can explain what you do to somebody else. If they're confused about it, then you got a problem. You want them to be able to refer you and to be able to talk about you. Hello, I'm Debbie Shadid, the host of the Life Coach Business Building Podcast. If you are ready to have more clients in your life coach business, then you're in the right spot. Each week, I'm going to teach you super simple strategies to grow your business without feeling overwhelmed and without spending money on paid ads. Now, if that sounds interesting, stick around and let's get started. Welcome to today's podcast. We are going through the 6 pillars of the Business Building Boutique. Now, this week we're on week 2. I'm going to be talking to you about curating this collection of client converting copy. If you missed last week, I want you to go back and listen, because in pillar number 1 of the Business Building Boutique, we talk about building brand identity. I talked about the personal brand and the business brand that will attract your ideal client that reflects you. So each one of these steps builds on each other. So I want you to listen to all of them. Today, we're going to talk about your marketing message. And let me just say, your marketing message as a coach is so critical. You must get this right, or people will not connect with you. And if people are not getting consultations with you, and if you are not landing clients, I can almost assure you that you need to have clarity in your marketing message. You need to be able to communicate it better to your ideal client. I suspect that's probably the problem. I know that when you guys go networking and you go meet people, one of the things you hate the most is when you have to be able to tell somebody who you help and what you do. And again, that is part of having your marketing message really clear. Inside of the Business Building Boutique, we work on writing this master message, which most people use on their website, but really it's the core of all of your marketing. And it starts with the basics of who you help, what the problem is, and how you solve it. You want to be able to communicate what the results are that your client wants. And I am not just talking about weight loss, for example. I know I used weight loss last week as one of the examples in personal branding. So I'll use that again here. People don't just want to lose weight. What is it that they want? Yeah, they want to lose weight, of course. They want the number on the scale to change. But what do they want it to do for their life? How do they want to become somebody different? So maybe if you were doing weight loss coaching, you would be communicating about that. You know, each one of your niches is going to have a different set of results that somebody really wants. But most of the time, it's not just one thing they want. Most of the time, there's layers of things. They want to feel a different way. They want to be seen a different way. They want to experience life in a different way. So you want to think about the results of your coaching. Then you have to get super clear on what the problem really is. And I can tell you that your client has more problems than what you are probably talking about. And also, you are probably sugarcoating the problems. So people buy coaching to get out of pain. Now, it's true. There are some people who buy coaching for accountability and to reach new goals, but most people buy coaching because they can't get what it is they want without some additional support. So you want to be able to clearly define what their problem is. Then you need to be able to clearly define what it is they're missing out on because they haven't solved it. You're the one that's going to help them solve it to be able to have what it is that you paint this picture of. So are you doing that? You also want to be able to explain in a very clear way what your offer is. We're going to talk about offers in a couple of weeks. So I'll be sharing the details of how you create a compelling offer, but you have to be able to communicate it clearly as well. You want to have a method for creating your social media content. You want to have a method for writing your email marketing. You want to have a method and a formula for doing all of these things so that you can consistently repeat the same message. You have to become known for something. They have to know what it is you do, who you help, and what the problem is and what the outcome is. So you want to keep that consistent in everything that you post. I teach the 3-step formula for writing social media content, and it includes starting with a hook, sharing a story, and then adding a call to action. It really can be that simple. So you want to figure out what your formula will be for writing a social media post. How do you want to do that so it's easier for you week after week when you write your social media content? Just pick a formula that you will follow consistently. Then you want to do the same thing with your email marketing. I always recommend at bare minimum that you're sending a weekly email, not a newsletter, because nobody wants some newsletters. They actually want something of value, but that you're communicating with your audience weekly. Now, how would you do that? One of my favorite ways that was introduced to me from one of my clients, actually, Lindsay Hume told me about James Clear's email. James Clear is the author of Atomic Habits. You should go subscribe to his email because his weekly emails are very interesting. He shares 3 ideas from him personally, 2 quotes from others, and 1 question for you. So it's the 3-2-1 formula. Now, before I was introduced to James Clear formula for email, the 3-2-1 process, I was helping my clients figure out a formula that would work for them. So it was like, share a concept from your coaching, share a story about what it looks like when somebody coaches with you or gets a result with you, and then share a piece of industry news or an article or inspiration from an Instagram page or something that you went shopping for, a food item or something that has to do with your business. And then close your email with something that's personal. So that would be 4 different parts of your weekly email that people would expect to hear from you. Whatever it is for you, my friend, just create a formula for your message so you can do your social media and you can do your email marketing without having so much drama over it. I want you to be consistent, and you can only be consistent if you know what you're talking about. All right, let's talk about email list building. Now, this also fits in with this core marketing message because whatever their pain points are and whatever it is, when you paint the picture of what you're going to help them get, whatever results they want, your opt-ins that you're going to use to build your email list are going to support that same bit of information. So you're going to have something that is aligned with one of those pieces of your content. Now, you're going to experiment until you find what really works for your clients. Inside the Business Building Boutique, we start with a quiz. I have a quiz that everybody can use that will be their first opt-in, and I have an email series already set up that you can use that will work as your follow-up email series. But long-term, you want to create something that your clients will really resonate with. Now, for me, it's the workshop, right? You guys know me from that Canva workshop. It's a natural conversation starter because when I meet somebody or when we have a consultation call, that's what they talk about. They talk about that Canva workshop. They're able to tell me all about it. So what would be an opt-in that your client would really benefit from that would leave them talking about you, that would compel them to take the next step, which is to have a consultation with you? I also want you to understand how to really have authentic marketing and then in turn, authentic selling. That will happen when your marketing message is really true to you, when it's really communicated from your voice and your tone so that it feels really honest and sincere. You want to be able to talk from your heart to your clients. That, again, as I've already mentioned, is something people say to me all the time. We can hear your passion. So make sure the way you communicate is the way that represents you in whatever it is you want people to know about you. Let me just ask a few questions about your niche client. Again, do you really know what is wrong with them? Do you really know how the problem is affecting their life? Do you really know who else is being affected by this one problem? Let me share a quick story about what happens when you get your marketing message correct. I worked with a client last week, and she has been selling coaching for years, but not as much coaching as she wants. So I reviewed her website and I said, I really think your first issue is your marketing message. It's just not revealing the pain of the problem in a strong enough way. It's not getting people's attention. So we rewrote her marketing message. And let me tell you, before she updated her website with that new message, she put it on a LinkedIn post the very next day. She went from having no engagement on her LinkedIn to somebody now saying, oh my gosh, wow, that's, you're talking to me. They were actually communicating with her in the comments because the message that she put in LinkedIn was slightly different because we were able to change the way she was presenting her coaching. We spoke to her ideal client. As I like to say, her ideal client raised their hand and said, oh my gosh, she is talking to me and she gets me. And they communicated that back. And that was only from one post on LinkedIn, you guys. So I want to make sure that you really get that clear. Make sure that other people can explain what you do to somebody else. If they're confused about it, then you got a problem. You want them to be able to refer you and to be able to talk about you. That is the work that we do inside the Business Building Boutique. So pillar number 2 is about creating that client converting copy that becomes the core of your business, of all of your marketing. All right, you guys, I hope this is giving you something to think about. Next week, we're going to be talking in pillar number 3 about crafting your unique coaching offer. All right, you guys, until next time, have an amazing week. Bye-bye. Okay, ladies, that is it for today. Before we go, I want to invite you to head over to DebbieShada.com. I have this incredible Canva training specifically designed for life coaches, where I'm going to teach you how to use Canva to create beautiful graphics to market your life coaching business. All right, have an amazing week. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.